Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the books I read in January along with my February TBR. It's a pretty extensive one, but I think I can do it. So I read 6 books in January, so we're going to do it in the order that I read it. So the first book I read was Keeper of the Lost Cities Unraveled. This is the 9.5. There's 2 technically novellas. This counts as one of them. Even though it doesn't seem like one, it's actually a full novel. It's like 400 pages, but if you've seen the rest of this series leading up to this, you know why this would be considered a novella. It's a very long series and a lot of pages in a book. But yes, I did read this month. I love this book series so much. It holds a very special place in my heart, and I am going to try to reread it this year, but this was the first book I read, and it set off 2025 as a great reading year. Then I read Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. Now, this book, one of the last books I read in 2024 was The Sorcery of Thorns, and then I read this book this year, and this was honestly a good novella to just wrap it up. It was also like a fairly quick read. It's like just under 200 pages. And so yes, this was a good book. Oh yeah, I rated this 4.5 or 4.75 stars, and I rated this 3.5 stars because I really like this book. Then I listened to the audiobook of the first. This is the whole trilogy. I listened to the first Lord of the Rings novel, which is The Fellowship of the Ring. So yeah, I read the I listened to the Fellowship of the Ring in January, and then I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I actually read this whole trilogy: A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. So this book was a 4.75, another 4.75. And this was a 5-star book because I literally sat down and read this in like 2 sittings because I started it and that took a while. And then once I got into the plot, I read it in 1 sitting. So yeah, this is a 5-star. So yes, these books were really good. This was a good way to start and finish a series in a year. So those were the 6 books I read in January. And also, I think sometime in February, the video of me reading this series will be coming out. I'm not sure. And then we have the books I want to read in February. Okay, so the first things that I want to read, I'm actually in the middle of 3 books right now. Well, I just started 1 and I'm in the middle of 2. I'm currently in the middle of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which I'm actually going to try to finish another story while I'm finishing this. Now I've read 2 of the short stories in here. Then I have The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, which I just got into the plot of, so I'll be reading this and finishing it soon. And The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which I'm barely into, but yes, I want to finish this in February as well. And then I'm currently taking a child lit class, and we need a book that's it needs to be a middle grade book. It needs to be somewhere in between early elementary or late elementary, early middle. So I picked Percy Jackson because I had this book. It's been on my TBR for a while, and it's one of the top 25 books I wanted to get off my TBR this year. So this is my book that I've picked for my child lit class to read. And then because it's February and Valentine's Day, we have a few romances. So we have all of the young adult Lynn Painter books, except Nothing Like the Movies, because I currently do not have that. Unfortunately, on my shelf, I've ordered it. It'll come in the mail soon because I wanted the paperback. But yeah, I have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which is a short book. I also read this last February, and Betting on You, which I also read last February. So yes, I am excited to read these books again. And then the last book that's on my February TBR is Last Chance Books, which I found on the $6 hardcover section in my local bookstore. But then I kept seeing it on a lot of people's shelves on Bookstagram, so yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. So anyway, those are all the books I read in January, along with the books that I'd like to read in February. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.